And with 3 parts per million of chlorine, I'm cleaner than your daddy's plate after Thanksgiving dinner.
Wow, that's pretty clean.
Number 10. Sheldon's moms. Okay, let's start by addressing the elephant in the room. Yes, before getting cast as George Sr. in Young Sheldon, Lance Barber played a mean jerk from Leonard's high school days on The Big Bang Theory.
I think that we'll have to ask the fans of the show to suspend some disbelief. Based on social media, it's going to be difficult for some of them. And I hope that I can do a good enough job to take them away from that.
However, did you know that Zoe Perry, who plays Mary in the prequel, also has a Big Bang Theory connection? It would have been great to put Laurie Metcalf, who plays Mary Cooper in the Parent series, in a time machine or use CGI to have her reprise her role.
Well, this takes me back, me doing your laundry, you next to me criticizing.
It is nice, isn't it?
Instead, the casting team chose the next best option. They cast her real-life daughter. Perry, of course, asked her mom for tips before the audition, and, well, she nailed it.
She said, just, keep, as long as you ground it, in reality, you're golden. So that's kind of been the aim from day one.
Number 9. A Blossom Shoutout. We're guessing that someone among the creative team of The Big Bang Theory and Young Sheldon must be a huge fan of the 90s sitcom Blossom. Why? Well, in the Parent series, the leading actress is first brought up while the guys are trying to find a 4th person to join their physics bowl team.
You know who's apparently very smart is the girl who played TV's Blossom. She got a PhD in neuroscience or something.
Raj, we're not getting TV's Blossom to join our physics bowl team.
Now, do you remember who played the titular Blossom? Yep, that's right, Mayim Bialik, aka Amy Farrah Fowler. Now fast forward, or is it back, to Young Sheldon. Missy makes a list of potential boyfriends for her Cabbage Patch doll, one of whom is Joey Lawrence. Of course, Sheldon hilariously has no idea what she's talking about.
How do you think Celeste would look next to Joey Lawrence? I don't know who that is. He's Blossom's brother. I don't know who that is. It's a show. She wears hats.
What would Joey say?
Whoa, this is amazing. He wants to know what I think.
Number 8. The Global Population of 1989. In a Season 2 episode, Mary goes through a major crisis of faith after tragedy strikes her church.
Please look after the Hanson family to find strength in their time of grief.
Although Sheldon is firmly atheist, he finds his mother's loss of belief distressing and tries to comfort her in his own unique way. First, he attempts to bring back her faith using science.
It's just that gravity is precisely as strong as it needs to be. And if the ratio of the electromagnetic force to the strong force wasn't 1%, life wouldn't exist. What are the odds that would happen all by itself?
But when gravity fails to pull her back in, he tries another adorable tactic.
Well, there are 5 billion people on this planet, and you're the perfect mom for me. What are the odds of that?
Putting the sentimentality aside, it seems that the show's creators did their homework. Census data from 1989 and 1990, when the episode is set, shows the global population was indeed in the ballpark of 5 billion people. Now that's some pretty impressive attention to detail.
I don't like sharing credit, but I knew in that moment it wasn't the appropriate time to say it.
Number 7. Leonard kisses Sheldon's music teacher. Okay, not exactly. Let us explain. In the Young Sheldon pilot, Sheldon follows the sound of music and joins in by playing along on the piano.
Do you know this sonata?
No,
How long have you played the piano?
I don't play piano.
His perfect pitch catches the attention of the school's music teacher, Miss Fenley. We meet her again the following season when Sheldon decides to take up violin in a bid to be more like his idol, Albert Einstein.
I think I have an old violin you can take home and get the feel of.
That's great. Thank you.
But I have to warn you, it can be a frustrating instrument to learn.
Can you play it?
Yes?
I'll be fine.
However, this isn't the first time we've met actress Melissa Tang in the Big Bang Theory universe. Tang also played Mandy Chow, the woman Leonard kissed during his expedition in the North Sea. She's not the only familiar face either. Vernee Watson-Johnson played a nurse in both series too.
Oh, it's Cooper again. Can you take it?
Do I have to? He asked me if all the jobs for men were taken. I'll get it. You just stay here and do your nails.
Number 6. The cow in the opening titles turns into a bull. In the opening credits, we see young Sheldon staring out into the distance until a nearby cow momentarily breaks his focus. Apparently, this setup is a parody of the Walker, Texas Ranger opening titles. It also gives us a peek into Sheldon's inner world, showing his fears and how he feels like a fish out of water.
Get it away! Get it away!
Calm down, it's an itty-bitty thing.
No, I'm an itty-bitty thing!
As the seasons roll on, the credits continue to evolve. However, did you spot that the cow gets swapped out for a bull at one point? It's hard to believe it's just a coincidence, especially considering this change happens during a rough patch for the family. Bulls might seem more intimidating, but they also symbolize strength and resilience. Number 5. Kaley Cuoco's cameo. We all know that Mayim Bialik and Simon Helberg reprised their Big Bang roles in voiceover cameos on young Sheldon.
Dating back to ancient times. Some consider it the single most important field of study known to man. From the wheel to the International Space Station, which I went to.
Bialik and Jim Parsons even show up in the prequel's series finale. Yet there's one Big Bang alum cameo you may have missed. In this Season 3 episode, Sheldon worries about an upcoming swimming test. During an anxiety dream, he stands at the edge of the water while the talking pool tries to coax him into getting in.
Why don't you like me?
You're full of bacteria.
So are you, but you don't hear me saying, ugh, it's rude.
If you listen closely, you'll recognize that voice as none other than Penny actress Kaley Cuoco. Apparently, co-creator Stephen Millara wanted the pool to sound, quote, female and kinda sexy, and realized he knew exactly who to call.
Come on, my pH level is 7.4, and with 3 parts per million of chlorine, I'm cleaner than your daddy's plate after Thanksgiving dinner.
Wow, that's pretty clean.
Number 4. The order in which the Big Bang Theory gang as kids are shown. Sheldon is devastated when no one shows up for his Nobel Prize announcement party.
A primary feature of quarks is that they're always bonded together. But in that moment, I felt like a neutrino, destined to be alone forever.
Little does he know, there are other kids out there who will one day watch him and his wife accepting their own Nobel Prize. Indeed, we're shown a montage of Sheldon's future Big Bang pals as children. Interestingly, they're presented to us in the same order we meet them in the Parent series. First, we see Leonard wearing a very familiar-looking robe. Then, we glimpse young Penny asleep, child Raj studying, and kid Howard playing video games. Bernadette follows after, and finally, Amy, the last to join the group, completes the montage. Did you catch what she's reading, though?
So I'd like to return the favor by inviting you to watch an episode of your favorite childhood television series, Little House on the Prairie.
That sounds lovely.
Number 3. The faculty member who greets Sheldon at Caltech. In the very last scene of young Sheldon, our young protagonist arrives at Caltech for grad school. As he takes it all in, he's approached by a faculty member who asks him if he's lost.
You lost?
No. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be.
What you might not know is that this professor is played by David Saltzberg, the guy who's been fact-checking practically all the science in the Big Bang Theory and young Sheldon since day one.
The nice thing about being a science consultant is I have the easier job than the writers because there's an infinite number of stories they could tell, right? But there's only one reality. I just have to tell them what's true.
Showrunner Steve Holland explained that fewer people had as big of a role in molding the character of Sheldon Cooper as Saltzberg.
So you're like one of those beautiful mind genius guys.
Yeah.
This is really impressive.
I have a board. If you like boards, this is my board.
So as their own personal thank you for all his hard work over the years, they gave him this role in the finale. Number 2, Sheldon's office. Also in the final episode, we're back in the present with Amy and Sheldon, now living in the LA suburbs, chatting in Sheldon's office.
Don't read over my shoulder.
Well, are you writing your memoir or a fantasy novel?
For your information, the word memoir comes from memory, and these memories are mine.
Holland shared that the team visited the old set now on display for Warner Brothers studio tours and hand-picked items they thought Sheldon would treasure. You can spot his old train set, comic books, Rubik's Cube tissue box, DNA structure, Gollum, and more. There's a nod to his Nobel behind him, and of course the iconic sofa where his kids probably learned never to sit in Daddy's spot.
But you love that spot. No, I love my mother. My feelings for my spot are much greater.
According to Holland, there are around 20 Easter eggs to find, so next time you watch, hit pause and go on a hunt.
And by the way, your daughter wants to take acting classes.
I told you we never should have let Penny babysit.
Number 1. George Sr. attends his own funeral. We all knew it was coming, but the moment we learned of George Sr.'s passing hit us like a ton of bricks.
He had a heart attack.
It's okay, right?
He's gone.
The funeral episode that followed also felt like a punch to the gut. But here's a little behind-the-scenes nugget. Unbeknownst to viewers, Lance Barber tried to lighten the mood on set.
No matter what I did, he always had my back. I love you, Dad.
Reagan Revord, who plays Missy, revealed all in her Instagram stories. She shared that Barber dressed up as a woman named Georgina and sat among the mourners in the church. The camera crew likely avoided showing Georgina much during such an emotional scene, but we think we may have spotted her. According to Revord, Georgina, quote, brought some much-needed laughter to everyone.
Why are they laughing at Dad?
Because I love him.
Did you spot anything we didn't notice? Let us know in the comments.
Did you not see the sign?
I did. It's not legally binding.